This is the Monday night scripture breakdown class. So any and all questions you may have, I'm saying now would be the time to ask them. You know what I'm saying? Priest and Officer 500 N.W.O holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Until one of my other ones arrives, either, you know what I'm saying, Officer Howard or Captain Knight Doc. Okay, so in the meantime, if you have any questions of any kind, just ask them now. We'll read the precepts. If I can answer it, I will. If not, of course, we will wait till the Adawanyam get here. Or, you know what I'm saying? If not, then we'll just write it down and save it for the next time. All right? Slucky, Yanzo, you have something first.
If I may, sir, I think I asked this question before, but I don't remember the answer. Okay, in the book of 1 Samuel, right? Chapter 13. Oh, I think it's 13 and 13. 1 Samuel 13 and 13 is the main, the gist of the question. And in that particular verse, the prophet Samuel tells Saul that he asked, if I can, I'll read it. Yeah, and Samuel said to
where you starting at?
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 13, verse 13. And Samuel said to Saul, "Thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandments of the Lord thy God, which he commanded thee. For now would the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever." So this is a an obvious check-in for Saul. But I'm reading in the previous verses because this is not the situation where he was supposed to kill the Amalekites. This is a whole different situation. So in the previous verses, I've been reading, I done read it like 4 or 5 times, and I still can't ascertain what he did wrong for Samuel to come at him like that. You know?
Did you read the previous chapter or just the previous verses?
I read the whole chapter. I read from chapter 1 to as a matter of fact, I left off from chapter 18. Today. I read this today. And so I couldn't understand. Like I'm reading the he was supposed, I think he showed some kind of, the only thing that I could see is that he didn't show enough faith for Israel to fight because when the Philistines came in, the people scattered, they ran to different countries, they hid in the caves and the hills and stuff like that. So I don't know whether he didn't galvanize the people to fight or what, that he did because when the prophet come at you like that, that's like Commander General Yohana coming at you.
Yeah, no sweat. I'm sure we can go back, we can read it, but let's wait until one of the Adawanyam come to get it, so they can take. They might know exactly what it takes.
Okay.
I'm sure if we go back and read chapter 10, 11, we can probably find it. You know what I'm saying? But let's just let one of them. They can probably pinpoint it much easier.
Most high in Christ.
You know what I'm saying? But I know that Saul had a
the spirit on
interest.
Him,
yeah, the spirit on him was. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That he was getting a check-in like that because the spirit on that brother was just not N.W.O.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
He was back and
he
forth.
was the first king of Israel. Go ahead.
The spirit would come off him, and then he would do something, and the evil spirit would come right back on him because of something he did.
Absolutely, yeah. That brother was, you know what I'm saying, he was demons. Yeah, demons got to him real tough, man. He tried to kill King David. Man. And King David, and we broke it down, we talked about it in class the other day when the brother was asking some questions. And King David, what did King David do in response to that? Did King David ever disrespect King Saul? Did he ever down King Saul? Did he ever wish anything bad to King Saul? Go ahead, Yanzo.
He was so respectful and so honorable. If it was anybody else, they would have been dead.
Right.
That's my opinion on who King David was.
King David, yeah, them right. That's absolutely a fact, right? King David, the Lord, you know what I'm saying? The Lord said King David was a man after his own heart. King David, he didn't disrespect Saul. You know why? Exactly. King David understood that what? that this man is who God decided to be over us. This man, this brother right here, no matter what he does, he may, you know what I mean, he's doing crazy stuff. He's trying to kill me. You know what I mean? He is not brotherly. This is not righteous. But he didn't get oil poured on his head for no reason. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get oil poured on his head. He didn't get anointed as king over Israel for no reason. You understand? King David understood that. And if I may, it's a good opportunity to say, and brothers, you know what I'm saying, we got to understand that as well. That's something we have to understand. You know what I'm saying? What they say in the scriptures, man, faith without what? Faith without works is dead. You understand? You can claim to believe something, but what do you do in a situation? You understand? What about the work? And work isn't just, like, okay, like you go to camp. Okay, you go to camp and, you know what I'm saying, you pay your tithes and, that is work. But it's also actions and how you deal with things, how you deal with brothers in the truth, how you deal with sisters in the truth. You understand? That demonstrates, you know what I'm saying, your faith. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of scriptures that talk about having a good rapport, a good reputation, a good name is better than riches. I'm paraphrasing. You understand? And when it comes to being in this school, you got to understand that them men above you, man, they earn their stripes. The men above you, them brothers above you who outrank you and things like that, man. Give them brothers the respect that they deserve because you're going to want it one day yourself. You understand? Always remember that. You know what I'm saying? The water for that, brother. You had something, young man.
Slack, if I could. I don't know if it's like just one scripture or it's many, but is there somewhere that tells us like the things the Most High likes, like lilies and what it doves? I think there's like a specific scripture that just kind of runs down the list of.
No, there's not a specific scripture that runs them down.
Okay.
But you'll find them kind of dispersed throughout, you know what I'm saying, where it talks about his favorite flower, his favorite, I believe the Lord has a favorite musical instrument. You know what I'm saying? Like it's dispersed throughout, but it's not like there's no real scripture that runs it down as far as I know.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? But if you're looking for specific ones, then we can try to find those. You got something, Yanazor? Was there a specific one you were looking for?
Oh no, sir. I just wanted to like get a few of them so I could show that the Most High does have preferences, because people like to say, well,
well, the best scripture for that would be what?
Oh, that one. I would prefer
Water, brother. It don't get more preferential than that. I mean, you gotta. I mean, look, man. I'm a crazy fan of music and rap and so on and so forth. And my favorite rappers ain't really gonna change, but every now and then somebody will kind of fall out, somebody else will fall in. You know how I go, think about your favorite artist and what's your favorite song by that artist? It's like, damn, like if you really like that artist, it's hard to say. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real. Prince was my guy, man. It's weird because I wasn't really born in that era, but still, somehow I ended up becoming a Prince fan later on in life. No, I don't condone how the brother was dressing and all of that. That's not suave. But he was a real musician. We'll talk about that another day. But if somebody asked me what's my favorite Prince song, I was like, I don't know. Like, it's hard to say. It's hard to say because I like so much of his work. To pinpoint one is difficult. You know what I mean? But with the Lord, that's how it is when it comes to your favorite flower or something. But the Lord ain't no switching up when it comes to his favorite people. Ain't no switching up when it comes to who he loves and cares about. You know what I'm saying? In that regard, you good to go. What you got, brother? Give him a hand. That's the precept that he was looking for, right? Go ahead and read it, brother. Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6, real fast. You want to get a scripture to show the Lord's preferences. I know what you're talking about with the other ones, and we'll get some of those. But but this is the best scripture for just showing the main preference the Lord has.
Okay, there's a book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 7. The Most High did not set his love upon you.
No, chapter 7, verse 6.
Oh, 7, verse 6. Okay. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto
Right.
the Most High God.
Right.
The Lord, the Most High, hath chosen thee to be a special people.
To be a what?
To
Slow
be a
down.
special people.
To be a special people. Go ahead.
Unto himself.
Right.
Above,
go ahead.
Above all people.
Equal to all people.
Above all people.
The same.
Above all people.
We all bleed red.
Above all people.
Above all people. Go ahead.
That are upon the face of the earth.
That are upon the face of the earth. You understand? God does have preferences, man. He has a lot of different preferences. His main preference is when it comes to his people. That's his main preference. His whole Bible is about that preference. From the beginning to the end of it. Y'all know that, right? From the very beginning, I mean, from the first sentence. From in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. All the way to the last sentence of Revelation, it is all about his love for Israel. You understand? What's the precept that proves? The first sentence in the Bible is what? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. How can you prove? How is that related to Israel? How can we say that has to do with Israel? Go ahead, Yanazar. Use the mic.
Second Ezra.
I'll be impressed.
It says that he made the world for our sake.
Give him a hand.
6:58, I think it is. 6:58. Second Ezra.
The very creation, you understand, was made for our sakes. You understand? That's why he set up a man to till the ground. Now, this is before he did. So, Israel, right? We think of Israel, right? Israel is a nation. But think of it like this. The Lord consistently chose men, right? He chose brothers or men to be his, you can almost say like a liaison, to be like his main guy on earth. And it was men, and then finally he did what? Who did he establish? Who did he tell he was actually going to make a great nation out of that person? Yeah.
Abraham.
Right? It was men. It was the line that came from Adam. Adam was the first man that the Lord chose. Was he the first man on earth? No. There was millions of men walking around. You understand? Adam was simply the first man in what? In the truth. He was the first man that the Lord chose and spoke to and showed him things. Right? And through that line ultimately came Israel, which is the nation that he said he was going to establish through Abraham, right? So this Bible from beginning to end is about the Israelites and nothing else. And if anybody tells you anything different, they're a goddamn liar. Tell them to prove it. Straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? Tell them to prove it. Any other questions? Let me check online as well. Salaki. Young man, actually, you could, if you could have a shot, you could just step up. It's 12. You just step up and just check that and see if there's any questions. No questions. Okay. No sweat. Okay. And you said you had something, right? Okay. No sweat. Anything else? Any other questions in the room? No sweat. All right. So with that being said, right? Let's talk about a little thing real quick. You know what I'm saying? As we wait for one of the Adawanium to arrive. Let's see. Bear with me just a second. Where's the one I wanted? Give me Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 1. Give me that real quick, man. I just want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, with the time I have, being a servant. What this truth is all about. You know what I'm saying? What this school is all about. What Christ is all about. This idea of being a servant has been misconstrued a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's been manipulated by people who have not had our best interest at heart. But I can assure you that being a servant is the greatest thing you can do. It is the most important thing for you to do, for all of us. Every single one of us, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. It is important for us to serve.
Right.
You got that scripture out?
Come on.
Go ahead and read it, brother.
Come on. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Most High.
If thou come to do what?
If thou come to serve the Most High.
No, if thou come to sing a song and dance and make you feel good.
If thou come to serve the Most High.
No, if you come to wear your Sunday's best and at the end do whatever the hell you want to do anyway.
If thou come to serve the Most High.
If you come to serve God. If you come to serve the Most High. That's what everyone claims they come to do, right?
Right.
Everyone claims that they love God and they want to serve God. And Lord, my mom used to say that garbage that we've all heard a million times. Jesus is my husband.
That was long time.
I'm telling you, I never understood it. But she would say, Jesus is my husband. And I'd just be like, that is very weird. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Even as a kid, I'm like, Mom, like, that is a weird thing for you to say. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jesus is your husband, but, you know, you don't got babies by that nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got babies by my dad. Like, we was all together yesterday. Jesus is your husband. That's kind of weird, you know what I mean? But, like, nonetheless, she would say that. Everyone believes that they love God. I mean, drug dealers believe firmly that they love God.
Right.
That they have a relationship with God. Criminals of all kinds believe that. They go to church on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Your child molesters, they're in church on Sunday if they're not the pastor himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your drug dealers, your you know what I mean? It's your thieves, anything you could think of, man. A cat go and rob somebody, stick somebody up, take all their money, take all their stuff, go sell everything and pawn it and get some money. And what they do? Buy a Jesus piece. Imagine, right? That's what happens. That's what happens in that world. Read it from the top.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Most High.
So they claim they come to serve the Most High, but let's see what the conditions of serving the Most High are. Go ahead.
Prepare thy soul.
Do what?
Prepare thy soul.
No, don't prepare.
Prepare thy soul.
You don't got to do nothing.
Prepare thy soul.
You can sing good.
Prepare thy soul.
You got to, first of all, so the first word there is to prepare. That is an action word, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
You have preparation is something you do. Right? It's not something you think about. I'm thinking about starting that paper that's due at 12 midnight on Saturday next week. I'm thinking about starting it today. Then the next day come. I'm thinking about starting that paper today. Right. The next day. Then the day is due. You know, I think I'm gonna start it at 10 o'clock. Right. I think I can get it, brother. None of that matters until you goddamn open the laptop and start typing the damn thing.
Right.
You understand? Preparation is not something you think. It's something you do. So prepare. Go ahead.
Thy soul.
Prepare your soul. What is your soul? Now, this is really going to trip a Christian up. What is your soul? I need a precept. I need if you got the answer, I need a precept with it to prove what your soul is. No sweat. Give me hold what you got. Actually, Cabal, if you could, Baba Shah. Give me 1 Peter 3:20. To show you what a soul is. Con.
This book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 20. Which sometime were disobedient, when once the long suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was a preparing.
While they were building the ark, right? So he's talking about Noah here. Go ahead. Noah and the ark. You know, with the flood. Read on.
Wherein few.
Go ahead.
That is 8 souls.
8 what?
8 souls.
8 what?
8 souls.
8 souls. Go ahead.
Were saved by water.
What are those 8 souls? Go ahead, Yanazar.
8 persons, 8 bodies.
8 bodies. Soul is your body. Okay, your soul is not some floating, imaginary, conscious ball of light thing. Like a ghost, right? Your soul just means your body. It just means you, right? Because we know that we come back, right, in the regeneration, but do we come back as the person we are? No, we have no remembrance of things past. We don't remember that. We're not, we're not whoever I was in my past life, quote unquote, right? That's not me. You follow me? It's me, but it's not me, right? It's just the consciousness that's continued, but it's not N.W.O, right? Soul just means body, right? So now go back to the other thing.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare thy soul just means prepare yourself. Peter, put it simple. Christians don't understand this language. It just means prepare yourself, right? You, your body, your mind, all of that. Prepare yourself for what?
For temptation.
For temptation. Prepare yourself for temptation. What does it mean to be tempted?
Oh, sluggy. Basically being drawn. You're tempted, drawn to the wrong thing.
Con, that's correct. What you got, Yanazar?
Temptation is basically an opportunity to sin.
That's a better way to put it. No, that's the water. The water. You was right, but that's a better way to put it, right? An opportunity to sin, right? You got to prepare your soul for the temptation to commit sin. You have to prepare your soul. If you want to serve God, you have to prepare yourself for the temptation to go against God, to go against the Lord. And that temptation is all around you. I mean, good night. Good night. It's right in your face. You know that whore look good. Why are you don't gotta, brother, you don't got a lot of me. You ain't gotta prove nothing to me. You know that girl that you know is an absolute whore, is bad. That's why it's called temptation. You know them drugs and that weed and you know what I'm saying, make you feel good. You know, being a damn drunkard makes you feel like you on top of the world. You just so free until the next morning and you thrown up all over your chest. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying? Like when it's happening, you enjoying it, having the time of your life. Prepare your soul for temptation. What other temptations are there? Just think about it like this. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
It's like I said, I was going to say money. You know, that's
doing the wrong thing to get money.
Yeah, kind of the love of. So like,
how about the temptation to not follow orders? How about that? And you think that that's not a temptation?
Right.
Some of y'all brothers may not have experienced yet. You know what I'm saying? Some of you have, you know what I mean? But you're gonna go, if you're in this school, you're gonna go to camp every Saturday for the rest of your natural life. Until somebody above you says, all right, you good. You know what I'm saying? You put in your work. And that's probably not gonna happen for at least like 40 years. Something like that. You know, you're going to goddamn camp out. You better have a damn good excuse to not be there. You know what I'm saying? The point is, you're gonna follow orders in here, or you ain't gonna be in here. And that goes for sisters as well. Brothers and sisters, there's always gonna be a temptation to do what? I'm tying these two things together. The temptation to not follow orders and the temptation to sin all comes from what? Yeah, Yanazar.
It all comes from lust.
But I want you to say it. You're right, but say it a certain way.
Disobedience.
Like
desire.
Yes, you getting hot. Go ahead. Let me word it like this. Let me be a little more descriptive, because all of y'all are correct, right? It comes from your desire in your mind, right? But there's a certain thing. There's one road that I'm trying to say without giving it to you. One road, do this, do this, do this, do this. And what do? You do this, do this, do this, you do this. On the other road, give him a hand. I was trying to figure out a way. You got it, Giannis, off the water. That's an excellent, excellent answer. That's what it is. It all comes down to you doing whatever the hell you want to do. You don't want anything to be above you. You don't really want to be subject to anything. That's really what it is. You think you do. You claim you do. You tell people you do. But really, you think you're the smartest, most knowledgeable thing walking. And you got it all figured out. And you know which way to go. You don't need somebody to tell you where to be. Man, you think that you can probably get more brothers. You could gain more brothers, and you could recruit more brothers than going to them camps, than going on teaching that class. You think that you got your own way to do things. And you're just so confident in it. You understand? And it's the same thing when it comes to sinning. It's the same thing. The Bible says simply, this is not for you to eat. But you just love pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster so much that you have manipulated the Bible to try to support your claim, and you know good and goddamn well it doesn't say that. You understand? That is the difference between what? Doing what you want to do versus doing what you're told to do. You understand? That is the separation when it comes to that word serving. That's the key element here. Read Ecclesiasticus one more time.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Most High.
If you come to serve them. So the first thing you're doing is serving. If you're serving, then what you want means what? Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant because you're serving. Read on.
God. Prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare your soul for temptation. Why? Because we know there's always that temptation to not serve, because serving is un-effing comfortable.
Right.
It's uncomfortable to have another grown ass man. You're a grown man with kids. To have another grown man tell you where to be, how to dress, how to talk, how to move. And then you throw in some age or something like that. Then the temptation gets very real. You understand? But I know this much. I know many brothers have been in white men's Salakia. Don't flag me. YouTube, my bad. Esau's military. And in Esau's military, do they tell you where to be? Do they tell you what time to get up?
Right.
Do they tell you how to cut your hair? Do they tell you what to wear? Do they tell you who to kill? Nobody bats an eye. It's normal. It's respected. But guess what? Who's gonna have that same fervor when it comes to blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians? America has prospered through their military might.
Right.
Have they not? America has done quite well for itself through its military might. Through all those men who accepted, be here at this time, wear this, don't wear this, go here, don't go here, don't be over there, kill him, don't kill him, don't shoot him, shoot her. America has prospered. But what about blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Do we have an army?
La.
Do we have a military?
La.
Is it even in our culture as blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians? Is it even? This don't sound funny, but is it even revered to be a servant? No, in our culture, you're respected more when you don't follow rules, when you don't listen to people, when you do things on your own. I'm my own man. I'm a boss, right? And don't tell me about a black woman. I mean, do I have to tell you that black women absolutely think it's better to be alone and figure things out by yourself?
Right.
So now you might start to see the connection of why we keep losing all the time.
Yeah.
You know, the other nations, they serve. And guess what? The kind of servitude that they have doesn't even match the serving that the Lord requires of his people. It's not even close. According to this, if you were to look at our structure compared to theirs, give me the one that says they was going to look at us and say, surely this is a wise people based on our law. I think it's in Deuteronomy. Might be 4 and 6. What's going on, bro? No, yeah. I need to. How long does it take the roll? Take the roll. If you could. Okay. Just go with the brother real quick. Yeah.
Hey, come. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Right. They're supposed to look at us based on our laws and say, oh, snap, this people is amazing. Read on.
Verse 7. For what nation is there so great, who hath the Most High so nigh unto them?
Right. What nation is there so great who have the Most High so nigh unto them? Meaning what? Meaning that this people is like what? Like we said before in the class. It's like a liaison. Like we are every Adam was the Most High's representative on earth. You understand? Abraham was the Lord's representative. Isaac, Jacob, Moses was the Lord's representative. And they're going to look at us as a nation. That's why I said what? We would be a nation of priests. Right? We're representative of the Most High. That's how we're supposed to be looked at. But we're not looked at that way in this world. Why? Because the Lord decided what? Because we turned our back on him, he was going to hide his face from us. Just like a parent does. But the other nations, even in their ignorance, at least they have what? Enough love for each other to serve each other. And listen, it's not, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that, oh, you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps. No. Unless we get on the Lord's side, none of it will matter. That's in Deuteronomy. Because black people have tried it. It ain't just about black people getting together and funneling their funds and money. That's not, that's part of it, but that's only one part. You understand? We have to get on the Lord's side because he told us that nothing we do will prosper if we don't, come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand what I'm saying? But when you look at these other nations, man, they serve each other. They absolutely serve each other. They absolutely sacrifice. How many times have you heard stories about these immigrants when they come into America and the things that they do? Yeah, Yanazar.
I've heard about it all my life, and I witnessed it myself.
Right, and I know you have, right, brother from New York like myself. We see it because a lot of foreigners come through there, and now they're coming down here now too. So other parts of the country starting to see it as well, right? But I remember, who remember? I bring it out all the time, man. In New York, before there was Uber, we had yellow cabs. There's a bunch of different cab companies. But Manhattan is yellow cabs, right? Now, any cab company in New York had to have a medallion, right? Those medallions were expensive. They weren't as expensive way back in the day, but then they became more expensive over time. Yeah, absolutely. No, 100%. Probably, now it probably went down because of the whole Uber situation. But at its peak, like I'd say probably around in the 2000s, 2006, 7, before Uber came in there, going toward 2010, that joint probably cost you $800,000, $850,000. And a medallion is just, it just allows you to run a cab, a yellow cab. Okay, Yanazor, please.
Were financed just like a house. So, like if it was 800,000, you was paying $1 million for it, in the long run.
Just tell me where you at. Yeah, Yanazor. Barry Diane?
I believe in the New York Post about these cab drivers, and the cab drivers at the same time frame that you're talking about, they was complaining. Because most of them now, they were Elam, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It was they were coming in, and so they were complaining about how they couldn't pay for a mortgage. They couldn't decide whether they were going to pay on their mortgage or whether they were going to pay for the medallion.
Right.
If that was the choice that they were forced.
But what they would do is, before that, the ones who was on it before that, right? They would do this. You would have a couple of cats, right? A couple of Elamites. I know this personally because I went to school and one of my best friends in high school was an Elamite, and his father drove one of them joints. And they would basically take turns around the clock. We're gonna run it up. So we're gonna work for we already got connections because we know people because we're Elam. Right. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna work for so and so who already got a medallion. We're going to work for him. We're going to get our money together. We're going to funnel it. We're going to slowly but surely stack our money up, right? And then we're going to get this medallion. And then we're going to do what? We're going to get this cab, and we are going to run it up to pay it off. We're going to run it up. Shalom. Salaki. And you ready, other one? And with that, I pass the class over to Priest and Captain Nayadak. Where we at? Last scripture we was reading up.
1:6. Any questions online? Okay, come on.
I had a question.
Come on.
In First Samuel, chapter 13, verse 13. This is where Samuel is chastised from Saul for disobeying the Most High. This is not the situation with the Amalekites. This is a situation where after 2 years in office, Saul has been ruling for 2 years. At this point, let's state that at the beginning of the chapter. And so at verse
Yeah, you go.
Samuel's been Saul has been in power for 2 years. And so at verse 13, Samuel comes to him and chastises him and says that he's acting foolishly. So in the previous verses from 1 to 13, I'm reading over them and I can't ascertain what Saul did wrong for Samuel to come and check him like that.
Let's get it quick. What it says?
First Samuel, chapter 13.
I see verse 1. Mm-hmm.
And Saul reigned 1 year, and when he had reigned 2 years over Israel, verse 2, Saul chose him 3,000 men of Israel, whereof 2,000 were with Saul at Michmash and in Mount Bethel, and 1,000 were with Jonathan in Gibeah of Benjamin, and the rest of the people he sent every man to his tent. Verse 3.
Mhm.
And Jonathan smote the garrison of the Philistines that was in Geba, and the Philistines heard of it. And Saul blew the trumpet throughout all the land, saying, "Let the Hebrews hear."
Right. So this is who? Saul's son, right?
Khan.
Right. He went to war with the Africans, right? This tribe of Africans, and did what? And whooped them. All right. Read on.
Verse 4. And all Israel heard say that Saul had smitten a garrison of Philistines, and that Israel also had an abomination with the Philistines, and the people were called together after Saul to Gilgal.
Right. Read on. So something that had in what? An abomination with the Philistines, right? Read on.
And the Philistines gathered them, verse 5, and the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel, 30,000 chariots and 6,000 horsemen, and people as the sand which is on the seashore in multitude. And they came up and pitched at Michmash, eastward from Bethaven.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 6. When the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait, for the people were distressed, then the people did hide themselves in caves and in the thickets and in rocks and in high places.
So who hide themselves?
The Israelites.
Right? They hid because they were what? Give me a little more. Why they hid?
They was afraid because of the large army that was coming
They
against
were
them.
scared. You understand? They were scared. They saw that they were what? Outnumbered, right? In other words, they did what? They revert to what? To their what? Carnal what? Thinking. The carnal man. Were you thinking what? You outnumbered, right? You can't win the war. But who with you? The Lord with you. You understand? And that's what Christians have in their mind, because they have numbers, the Lord with them, when that's not how the Lord works. You understand? Right? Read on. So they were what? They hide in the rocks. They were hiding in the thickets. They hide in the bushes.
Holes in the ground.
They hide wherever there's, somewhere to hide. You're behind. They were there. Right? Read on.
Verse 7. And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. As for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people followed him trembling, so he ran too.
So all the people followed him what?
Trembling.
Trembling.
There it is.
You understand? Read on.
And he tarried, verse 8, and he tarried 7 days according to the set time that Samuel had appointed.
Mm-hmm.
But Samuel came not to Gilgal.
Right. I remember it was Joshua who came through and with Moses, right? Joshua is the one who passed it on to who after Joshua, I forget how it got to Samuel. But with Joshua, when they was trying to get the land that the Lord says their own, the people were scared because of the giants. And I think Joshua had to tell them, to get hold of yourself, basically. You understand? Almost the same thing here that happening with Israel. All right, read on.
Verse 8. No, verse 9. And Saul said, "Bring hither a burnt offering to me, and peace offerings." And he offered the burnt offering. Now, who is he offering the burnt offering to?
Well, who is okay? I want to give it that way. Who is he offering the burnt offering to? Come on. Yeah. Why? Come on. Mm-hmm.
So like,
Mhm.
because he's scared.
Yes.
Okay.
So he fit into the what? He fit into go send up prayers,
Okay.
right? Read on.
Verse 10. And it came to pass that as soon as he made an ending of offering the burnt offering, behold, Samuel came, and Saul went out to meet him, that he might salute him. Verse 11. And Samuel said, what hast thou done? And Saul said, because I saw that the people were scattered from me, and that thou camest not within the days appointed.
Right. So it's almost like he is so, you know what I mean, scared. It's like he's making a rash decision right now. You understand? And in here, you can't do that, brother. You can't make a decision off of fear. It's 99% of the time it's going to end up where? And you're going to end up on the wrong end of the stick. You understand? Fear is not allowed in here. Get that out your mind. Fear is not allowed. All right? Read on. Right? So Samuel, you know what I mean, come on the scene. But Samuel maybe what, 2 minutes late?
Yeah.
And Saul is like, Negro, you say coming at, you know what I mean, 4 p.m., but you hear what? 4:02. And Samuel gonna give it to him good. Read.
And that the Philistines gathered themselves together at Michmash.
Right, read on.
Verse 12. Therefore said I, the Philistines will come down now upon me in Gilgal, and I have not made supplication unto the Lord.
Right. Meaning, what did Saul do that he was not supposed to do? Okay, read on. It's going to tell you. Read on.
I forced myself, therefore,
Uh-huh.
and offered a burnt offering.
Right. Read on.
Verse 13. And Samuel said to Saul, thou hast done foolishly.
Thou hast done what?
Foolishly.
You understand? So what was Samuel upset about?
He's upset about the fact that Saul, he didn't show any backbone.
Yeah, but it's something he did. Come on. When he was not supposed to. He was supposed to wait until who come? Samuel. Yeah. He was supposed to wait until Samuel come, then to give the to give the orders on whatever else has to be done. Samuel is who? He's the prophet. The Lord speaking to who? Samuel. Remember, it's one man at a time. One man. You understand? The Lord ain't talking to, you know what I mean, nobody else but who? Commander Jerry Hannah. One West. You understand? One. And at that point in time, the Lord was speaking to who? Samuel. You understand? The Lord will speak to Samuel, and Samuel will go talk to who? No, talk to Saul, and let him know what the Lord wants. You understand? And Saul had to carry it out. There's another time Saul, with the Amalekites. And Samuel came in and was like, yo, Negro, what the hell you doing? Like, who is this here? Ehud? And, you know what I mean, mince him. You understand? And then proceeded to tell him what the Lord was going to do to him. It was going to take the kingdom from him. Because Saul is showing what? He ain't showing like he too witty up here when it comes to, you know what I mean, making decisions. You understand? Right? Read on.
And Samuel said to Saul, thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandments of the Lord thy God.
Thou hast what?
Not kept the commandment of the Lord thy God.
He has not kept the commandments of the Lord thy God. Read on.
Which he commanded thee, for now would the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever.
You understand? Like, he didn't keep the commandments. I mean, he wasn't supposed to do that. That was Saul to do. You understand? I mean, Samuel to do. Send up that burnt offering. Not Saul. You know what I mean? Stay in your lane, basically. You're the king, but you ain't the priest. You understand? You ain't supposed to be touching that. You understand? You know what I mean? Where what's his name? Where Saul, you know what I mean, did the burnt offering. Could be right in the living room table, You understand? Where he do it? He ain't know the correct procedure to do it. You understand? Samuel knows it. Samuel knows what had to happen. Samuel would have been the one to be like, hold on, before we do anything, let me go see what the Lord wants. Get a direction from the Most High, and Saul carry it out. You understand? That's almost to the point with David also too. When the Lord told David what? Don't count the men. And David went and did what? Counted. And then the Lord sent a plague on Israel for that. You understand? All right. So that was it. That was it on that, right? All right. Any questions online? Let's go back to what you call it again? Let's go back to Hosea. No. Hosea. I did get something last week to play in. All right. Let's see if we have time to go back into it. I just want to touch on this from last week. Hosea. I think it's Hosea 3. Right? And who has on the van? Take his on the van out, right? I want look up Hosea. You had the big one or the small one? The big boy, the small one? Come on. Read it when you get it. Young man. Michelle. Outside. Please. Yes. No, not definition, but read. Like it'll tell you about Hosea, what time. You understand? Because I think one of the brothers, Cole, had a question on this pertaining to the so-called Old Testament Negroes. And with them, you know what I mean, to battle them, you're gonna battle them based on, you know what I mean, you gotta battle them based on what? The Old Testament, because they don't believe in nothing in what? The New Testament. All right? All right. So now what you want to do is the timeline, you're gonna have to look at the timeline with Hosea.
Kind of
All
see
right?
it, sir.
Yeah, but hold on, let's have one get here from it.
Come on.
Go ahead.
This is the entry for Hosea
Mm-hmm.
in the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. Hosea. Of all the prophetic material contained in the Old Testament, the writings of Hosea were the only ones to emerge from the northern kingdom of Israel.
From the where?
The northern kingdom of Israel.
Northern kingdom of Israel, which means his timeline is after who? Which king? And the king before King David, right? Because the Old Testament Torah Negroes say to be waiting on who? King David.
Come.
All right. This is after King David, right? Read on.
Come. This notable 8th century BC prophet lived during a period of great national anxiety.
Right, great national anxiety, because if you read Hosea, it speaks about the destruction of Israel and how the Lord looked at Israel. You understand? That's why in Hosea, I believe where it say you only have I known. No, we are destroyed for the lack of what? Knowledge. You understand? Like we were destroyed. And it's telling you with the northern kingdom, which lets you know that there was what? The split already what? Happened. Yes, the split had already happened. But with Judah being Benjamin and Levi, and then you had who? The 9.5 tribes with Levi and the Hispanics and the Native Indian tribes. Right? Read on.
He was born during the reign of Jeroboam II, 786 to 746 BC, the last great king of Israel. and according to the subscription of his book, he exercised his prophetic ministry in Israel when Uzziah, circa 1783 to 743 BC, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah reigned in Judah.
Right. You understand? So you're seeing there's two different kings you're talking about there, right? One for Judah, one for who? The 9.5 tribes. You understand? It was a split, right? And now it's telling you, Hosea, you read Hosea, it's basically telling you what Israel is doing and how the Lord looks at Israel. Because remember, the 9.5, they was not doing the sacrifices where they're supposed to. They were keeping the what? The Passover separate from where it's actually supposed to be kept with the priest. Yes. You understand? And that is a no-no. That's why if you ain't doing the Passover with the UPK, you ain't got no Passover.
That's right.
You understand? Ain't never two Passovers in Israel. You understand? That is a no-no. Is one. You understand? Right? Any more on that? If there's no more on that, then let's go to I believe is Hosea 3 and 4.
Who's gonna read? You want me to read out of one?
Yeah, if it once you get it, you can read
I got it, sir.
Uh-huh.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 3, verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king.
Right? For the children of Israel will abide what?
Many days without a king.
Many days without a king. Right? Read on.
And sacrifice without a prince.
And sacrifice without a what?
A prince.
A prince. This is split. You understand? Right? Read on.
And without a sacrifice and without an image.
Right? Without a sacrifice. So he's telling you that these people are doing what? They ain't doing what they're supposed to do, basically. They ain't have a king, they ain't have a prince. They sacrifice, they ain't sacrificing what they're supposed to sacrifice. You understand? Because that's when you read the story on when they split, Levi went with them. The priests went with the 9.5. And then afterwards, Levi was like, nah, this is wrong. And then some of them went over to who? To Judah to do the right thing. You understand? Because it was like, nah. And that's how God started being priest with Israel. You understand? When it's supposed to be who? We know the Levites as being who? The priests back in them time. Right? Read on.
And without an ephod.
Right? Without an ephod. That's your priestly garment, right? Read on.
And without teraphim.
Read on.
Verse 5. Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God.
So after all of this, Israel is going to do what? Return and seek their what?
Their power, their God.
Their God. It speaks about what? Anything about what? King David returning.
Right.
It speaks about what? Israel returning and serving their God. You understand? Read on.
And David their king and shall see this is where they make a mistake because they don't separate.
And
go ahead. They're gonna when it says that King David's returning, this doesn't mean that he's returning. It means that they're gonna look back from that point.
Right. Read on, brother. I with you. You understand? These nutheads, they're not with you. They want to smoke weed. You know what I mean? That's the real thing. They want to smoke weed. They want to run down what? The oppressor woman. No, you good. You good. They want to run down the oppressor woman. They want to run down heathens. You understand? They want to make marriages with heathens. They don't want to have to follow the laws right now. Why? Because they're sinning. And they want nobody to tell them they have to stop sinning. You understand? That's the root to your Old Testament. You understand? Because if they're following the Old Testament in such a way, then they should be doing what? Stoning adulterers. You should be hearing that them Torah Negroes just stone somebody to what? To death. You understand? Or just, you know what I mean? They're stoning a homosexual. You should hear, you know what I mean? You should be hearing about these things, but nah. They want to do the same thing the Christian church does, which is what? Pick and choose what they want to follow in the Bible.
That's right.
That's all they want to do. Pick and choose. You know what? This verse here is for us. Where it says, Proverbs what? Where it said don't put the smoke to your lip. I forget the verse. 16 and 27 or something like that. I could be wrong, right? But where it say don't, right? Where it speaks about not smoking weed, you understand? You know what I mean? They somehow don't see that in the Old Testament. Somehow they just, you know what I mean, open it. No, that ain't, no. Or this here, King David, I'm gonna follow King David. I'm gonna wait till King David come back. You don't believe in reincarnation, right. So how King David coming back? Yeah, explain that to me. You know what I mean? If one of your Old Testament is listening right now, explain that to me.
That's right.
You understand? Explain that to me. All right. Read on.
And fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days.
Fear the Lord and what?
And his goodness in the latter days.
You understand? What is that saying?
This prophecy is pertaining to the latter days. This prophecy is pertaining to the latter days.
Right, to the latter days, right?
Yes, Kanawakan.
Right? Meaning what? What's going to happen to Israel? Israel going to what? Return. As prophesied. You understand? That's what Christ came into the new, but you tell them about Christ, they're going to say what? They don't believe in the New Testament. So what? Christ does not what? Exist to them. Right? But it's spoken throughout the Bible. You understand? Who was the kingdom? I'm going to give it to you. But who did they say was going to sit on the kingdom? No, the Bible. Who was going to sit in the kingdom?
The seed of David.
The who?
The seed of David.
The seed of David. Find that for me in the Old Testament. Find that for me. Give me Genesis 49, where it said the scepter shall not depart from Judah. Right? Get that for me. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 10. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come.
Until what?
Shiloh come.
Until Shiloh comes. Who's Shiloh? Come on.
Shiloh is Christ.
Right? Peace. You know what I mean? Till he comes. You understand? It's scepter. And who has a scepter?
The king.
The king. You understand? Christ is prophesied throughout the entire Old Testament. But you simple Old Testament Negroes ain't gonna see that because you're full of weed. You know what I mean? Put the blunt down. Read the Bible. Try reading the Bible, not high. You understand? So you ain't gonna have to come up with, you know what I mean, with new breakdowns. Right? Give me where it say it speaks about David seed is going to basically sit on the throne. All right? Right. So read that Hosea over one more time for me. That 3 verse 4.
Book of Hosea, chapter 3, verse 4. For the children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, and without a prince, and without a sacrifice, and without an image, and without an ephod, and without teraphim.
Right? So it's telling you that they ain't gonna be without, you know what I mean, basically any type of leadership, any type of guidance to serve the Lord. You understand? Read on.
Verse 5. Afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord their God and David their king, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter day.
In the latter days. You understand? Like it's plain to see that it's not speaking about what King David coming back and doing, you know what I mean? God knows what you're talking about, King David coming back. You understand? But we know King David is back here on the earth, somewhere on the earth. Come on. Come on. Bring it.
Book of First Chronicles, chapter 28.
Yeah, that I believe that's it. Go ahead. Tell him where you're at again.
The book of First Chronicles, chapter 28, and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
Salakia. Howbeit the Lord God of Israel chose me before all the house of my father to be king over Israel forever.
Who is this?
This is King David talking.
Right. Read on.
For he hath chosen Judah to be the ruler,
Mm-hmm.
and of the house of Judah, the house of my father. And among the sons of my father, he liked me to make me king over all Israel.
Right. So was King David the king over all Israel? Yes, he was. All right, read on.
Verse 5. And all of my sons, for the Lord hath given me many sons.
Mm-hmm.
He hath chosen Solomon, my son, to sit upon the throne.
He has chosen who?
Solomon, my son, to sit upon the throne of the kingdom of the Lord over Israel.
He has chosen who? Solomon. And who is Solomon? Yes, eh?
The king of Israel, the wisest man to ever live.
Well, Christ. Yes.
It's Christ. Come.
Who is
Son of
Christ?
David.
Right? Read on.
Verse 6. And he said unto me, Solomon thy son, he shall build my house and my courts. For I have chosen him to be my son, and I will be his father.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7. Moreover, I will establish his kingdom forever.
He established what?
His kingdom forever.
Who kingdom? Yeah. Say it.
Salaki said he's not talking about David right
Yeah, he's not talking about David. Yeah, and David not even talking about himself.
Right.
David talking about who? Solomon. You understand? You know what I mean?
That's it.
No, you just had to get off, you know what I mean, get off them weed, Percocets, you know what I mean, your Marleys. Just get off that just for a few minutes. Yeah, it's a hot second. Just get off it. Sit down in class and you'll get right. Come on.
Like so he says Solomon is Christ
Yes.
in this instance.
Okay, not in this instance. Okay. The Bible speaks about what? Reincarnation, right? Right? So reincarnation is real, right? Now, who to say was going to be king over all Israel? Since you're not an Old Testament Negro, I could go to the New Testament and do what? Show you where it say what? Give me where it says son of David. I think it's in John or something like that. All right. And at the same thing, I believe the Sadducees or the Pharisees, they were expecting who? Solomon. Yes, they were expecting Solomon to come and do what? To come and save them. Do you understand? They wasn't expecting what? David. Christ. They wasn't expecting Christ or David. Right? But as I say, you can't, with the Old Testament, he ain't go even look at the New Testament. So you just, you know what I mean, cracking his skull with what? With the Old Testament. Yeah, that he not even reading. Come on.
It's a lot. And if I may, sir, like what you're saying is so heavy because these scriptures, like they not reading it.
They're not
simple. Because even while David was alive, he was saying, like you said, no, it ain't me. It's Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
Solomon's the Lord is going to establish because you know King David had too much blood on his hands. Mm-hmm. So the Lord is going to establish the kingdom through Solomon, but it was always about David's seed. His children would always be on the throne.
Yes. So come on.
I got the book of Matthew 1:1.
Come on. Go ahead.
The book of the generations of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham.
Now, what is that saying, Cabal? Tell him where you are.
Matthew's 1:1.
Well, this is saying that Christ is from the bloodline of David.
Read it one more time. No, Cabal, you read it. You read it.
The book. This is Book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The book of the generations of Jesus Christ.
So now this is the book of the what?
The generation of Jesus Christ.
So the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, right? Read on.
The son of David.
Hold on. Who is the son of David? No.
So,
Who's the son of David?
Solomon, sir.
Read it again from the top.
The book of the generation of Jesus Christ,
Mm-hmm.
the son of David.
Who is the son of David?
So like I said, Christ.
Yeah, that's what it's saying, right? Yeah, I ain't making it up. All right, it's saying it right there. It's saying, read it one more time.
This is Book of Matthew, chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ,
Mm-hmm.
the son of David,
All right, read on.
the son of Abraham.
The son of who?
Abraham.
He's not just only what? Solomon. Who is he? Who's the son of Abraham?
Christ. It's like Jacob.
Come on. Yes. You understand? You're right when you're saying what you're saying with Solomon being the son of David. I mean, the son of David. But it's letting you know that Solomon is who? Christ is letting you who? Isaac is who? Christ. You understand? All right? Just like who? Just like Adam is who? Is the first Christ. You understand? Right? It was Adam, then it was who? So Adam was first. Hold on.
Melchizedek.
Right? The appearance of Melchizedek. Right? He's the what? The king of what? Salem. Right?
We're under his priesthood, the establishment of his priesthood.
Correct. And then third was who? Isaac. Right? That's a reincarnation. Then fourth was who?
Solomon, sir.
Solomon. And then the fifth?
Christ himself.
Christ himself. And after that, now we're waiting on him to crack the sky with the 200 million angels to come and what? For him to really establish the kingdom on earth. You understand? Like he remember how Christ departed from here. How Christ left. Come on.
So like I said, I believe he was taken up.
Yeah, he was taken up. So his body ain't see what our bodies is going to see if the chariots don't come back, which is, corruption and death. You understand? He went through that and he defeated that, and what? He got a new body and he went up. Now he waiting. He said, what? You're going to see the Son of Man come back just like he what? Basically left. You know what I mean? Through the sky. You understand? All right? Again. That is it. Okay, so that is it for the Old Testament, right? The get a head crack, skull crack. You know what I mean? That's it. Come on.
I did have a question.
Come on.
It's off that topic.
Come on.
But related to Christ. So it's not a particular scripture, but it's just like get an understanding of something. So,
No, hold on, Salaki. Before you get there, give me the one with David where it say "as supposed to be." I suppose.
in the New Testament,
Yeah.
as was supposed.
Yes.
Son of Joseph.
Mm-hmm. I would think that's a good that one might be on topic, but let's get just to make sure. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Once you get it, read it.
The book of Luke, chapter 3, and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahushua himself began to be about 30 years of age.
No, this is just saying that he was the son of Joseph. All right.
In this one, it says Heli, which is another question I had. But
Go ahead.
come.
Mm-hmm.
Being, as was supposed, the son of Joseph, which was the son of Heli.
Right. So, okay, I see what you're asking. Now, when you read with Luke, right? Luke give you the lineage of who? Yeah. Come on.
See, I know what fake Israelites say.
What did they say? Tell me what they say.
I believe I've heard fake Israelites say that the genealogy in Luke is through Mary.
All right. Where does it say that?
It doesn't.
What is it saying? So read it one more time.
It says, Slakia, the book of Luke, chapter 3, and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahushua himself began to be about 30 years of age, being, as was supposed, the son of Joseph, which was the son of Heli.
Mm-hmm.
Slakia, if I make this, I want to say it's Luke 1:1,
Mm-hmm.
where it does the same thing as Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not Luke 1:1, but it basically runs down a genealogy similar to Matthew 1:1,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't. Then some of the names don't match up.
Right. And okay, I don't want to give it to you, but just think about it this way, right? Just in Matthew 1:1, you read about what? The generations of Jesus Christ, right? It's what? The lineage of him from where? Starting from where? From David, or all the way back to what? Abraham. Right? For it to even be considered Israelite, to tell you have to be what? From what? Abraham, Isaac, and who? Jacob. You understand? To even be starting consider. You understand? Right? No. Went all the way back to who? To Isaac. Right? And then come all the way down to who? They come all the way down to Joseph. Right? In Matthew. Right? Now you're reading about a lineage of who? Joseph again. Who what? With his lineage. Right. Yes. To water. And it goes all the way down to who? Goes all the way down to who? This lineage goes all the way down to who?
In Luke, sir?
Yeah, in Luke.
They both go down to Christ.
No. The lineage goes all the way down to who? It starts with Christ.
Oh, going back.
Uh-huh. So all the way back to Adam. All right. So who are these men?
These are the prominent men in the bloodline.
Very good. That's it. That's all.
So Luke is the prominent man.
Yes.
Con.
Right. There's the prominent men in the bloodline. All right.
Con.
All the way down to who? Adam.
Con.
So he's giving you, he's like, nah, this is the man. This is the one right here, as supposed to be the son of Joseph, and he carried it all the way down.
Con.
You understand? All the way down to who? Adam, to where it starts. You understand?
Con.
Right?
So lucky, sir. So just trying to understand what you said. I understand what you're saying, but like, okay, so one in Matthew 1:1, let me go to it. Joseph's father in Matthew, no, not 1:1, but one in what's that? Salakia.
Talking about 18 or 17?
That must be 17.
All right, what does it say? Who Joseph?
No, 16, Jacob. Right? And Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Yahushua.
Right.
So
go ahead.
Was Joseph's father named Was his father Jacob or was his father Heli? Like his father, his actual, is either one of them his father?
Okay, okay, they're just giving you this thing. They're from that bloodline. All right, it is that's his father, because you know you have two fathers, right? One father, right? From that lineage. You understand? Well, Healy could have just been the prominent one in the family at that time. You understand? And that's why they're running it down. But it ain't different than what the one you read in Matthew 1:1 is not different. It's the same lineage. If you go and check it back, it's going to intertwine with each other. You understand? Right? But it's just giving you the prominent men all the way down to who? Adam. The one in Matthew's start you off from where? They say as the son of who? David. Son of who? No, Isaac, no, Abraham, right? It doesn't go all the way back to who? To Adam. But it brings you, it just giving you, like, okay, like this is the man right here. Both instances are basically telling you that he's the Christ. He is the one. If we had a kingdom at that time, if we had a throne at that time, this is the man to sit on it. Christ. That's what it's basically telling you. You understand? Nowhere in the Bible it tells you that that you go by the lineage of your mother. And nowhere in the Bible it tells you that. Don't go by the lineage of your mother. You go by the lineage of your father. Your father carried the seed. You understand? He's the one that carry your bloodline. You understand? Your lineage. You understand? Come on. That was it on.
That's on that question, yes, sir.
Okay, come on. Next question. Come on.
So like my other question was basically like, okay, so with Christ, right? So kind of on the same topic, you know, we teach the truth according to the Bible that, you know, Christ had a father. His parents had sex and had him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I believe one of the precepts for that is the one where it says, I'm paraphrasing, it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, so that he could be a better priest. Like, you know, he wasn't made like the angels.
Right.
But was Christ not there? Was he not the orchestrator? Sorry, I'm trying to word this right. The creation, stars, universe, all that. Was Christ not there during creation?
What you mean?
Like, my understanding is that when the Most High created the earth, sun, all of that, Christ was there. That Christ actually was the one who basically carried it out.
Where's the precept for it?
Okay.
That's John 1. 1 and 15 or something around there. Go ahead.
The book of John, chapter 1 and verse. I'm going to start at verse 1, sir. Chapter 1 and verse 1. The beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God.
Right. In the beginning was the what?
In the beginning was the Word.
What is that? What is that telling you? In the beginning was the Word. Come on.
Christ is the Word.
Meaning what?
Christ is the first creation.
No. You want to say that? When I say Christ is the Word, just think what? The Most High gives the order, gives the word, and who carries it out? Christ.
Christ.
He's the Word. So whatever the Most High say, he is getting it what? Done. Right? With the angels. Read on. So they say in the beginning was the Word.
And the Word was with God. And the Word was God.
And the Word was what?
God.
Right? What is that saying? Is that saying Christ is God? Come on.
It's saying Christ had the power.
Yes. You understand? It's just think a police. You understand? He is the what? The law. You understand? He is the law. You understand? Just think this might be more on point with it. Just think Remember when they killed Osama bin Laden? Right? Who took the credit for it? Yes, Obama took the credit for it. You understand? He killed Osama bin Laden. When you go look back in the history, it's going to say what? Obama did it. You understand? They won't list the 7 names or 6 names of the men that did it. They will say that what? Obama did it. Come on.
It's like when we say, you know, we have a food drive and say Commander Junior Hanna has done it again.
Yes.
Come.
Yeah, he did it. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for him, we
That's
wouldn't
right.
be sitting on right here, right now.
That's right.
You understand?
Come.
He held it. You understand? We'd still be trying to fight we way all the world.
That's right.
You understand?
Come.
Right? Read on.
Come. Verse 2. The same was in the beginning with God.
Right? The same was in the beginning with God. Right? Read on.
Come. Verse 3. All things were made by him.
All things was made by who? Him. Who's the him? Come on.
Christ.
Yes. Right? From just doing what? Obeying the word. You understand? Read on.
And without him was not anything made that was made.
Right? Without him, nothing was what? Made. All right? Without him getting the orders to do it.
Come.
Right? Read on.
Verse 4. In him was life.
In him was what?
Life.
Was life. Read on.
And the life was the light of men.
Right? And him, the life was what? The light of what? Man. What man should do what? Do exactly what Christ's doing. Which is doing what? Obeying exactly what the Most High tell him to do. You want life? That's how you get life. You understand? You want death? You do the total what? Opposite. You be rebellious. You understand? You be disobedient. That's the total opposite to how Christ was. Right? He was the word. He ain't say, hey, Most High, sure you want to do that? Sure now. I don't think we should do it like that tonight.
Right.
Nah. It was Christ. Do this. Make sure this happen. Make sure this get made. And Christ just said what? Can one can.
That's right.
And went and did it.
Come.
He was the word.
Come.
Right? That you're good on that, or you need
No,
more?
so that's my question.
Uh-huh.
Because so like he says it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, and that he wasn't made like the angels. Basically, saying that Christ was a man, just like us.
At that time, you're speaking about when he said that,
Come.
he was just a man.
Come.
You understand? Right? How many times he came? How many times he messed up?
4.
3. 3 times he messed up.
Come.
Right? Melchizedek was just what? Our parents of him. The reincarnation was what? Right. And what you know about reincarnation?
That you don't remember the former thing.
Very good. You remember the former things. So you thinking Christ on the earth, and he knows exactly what he is or who he is. He had to learn that. And who he learned that from? His father, and reading what? Scripture. That's how he know who he was. You understand? If he had knew who he was, then Solomon wouldn't have married what? Yeah, he wouldn't have did that. Because what he did caused the kingdom to get what? Split. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? No.
For the answer? So I guess, so my question is, the rest of us, because the whole thing with Christians is they always say what? They always say, well, he's Christ. We're not Christ. We can't be like, because they think Christ is a God.
Yeah.
And we say, no, he's not. He's a man, which is true as Christ on the earth. But what I'm asking is like, okay, if we were to take into account the history of, he may not have known, but his spirit ultimately is the spirit that created the goddamn universe. The rest of us don't come from that. So how do we reconcile that to where it's like, okay, he's still different from us, but we are still like him?
Now, hold on. What made Christ different from us?
That's my question, I guess you could say.
That he was perfect.
Yes, that's the only difference. You understand? He was what? He perfect. He was, they call him the son of what? Why they call him the son of God?
If I may, sir, because he was the most like God.
He a little better. It was he was how to put it, he was the closest thing to the Most High. When I say closest thing to the Most High, meaning he followed what the Most High said to a what T. He was the closest.
Come on.
Come on, boy.
It's like, sir, I just want to get a better understanding.
Uh-huh.
Because Christ only became perfect as Christ. The other few times he was not perfect.
Right.
So can we go over?
Give me 1 minute, right? Give me where it say he quickened it. Yeah, he quickened it spirit.
Okay.
All right. Where you say Adam, I believe, give life or something like that.
Okay.
Find that for me. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna get it quick. But Salakia, Kabul, you go ahead and ask the question.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to know if we could go over the times, how many times Christ was, how many times he was reincarnated, and then the scriptures that show
the proof.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I'm gonna do that next class, next Monday. I'm gonna sit down and do that. All right. I'm gonna go over the times he came. All right, come on.
So and with that is like I guess my question is then.
Hold on. Read Corinthians.
Come on, I got it. So. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 45. And so it is written, the first Adam was made a living soul.
The first what?
The first Adam was made a living soul.
Meaning what? Come on. Yes, he was given the law. That's as simple as you could put it. He was given the law. And why is it saying the first Adam? Why is it saying the first Adam?
Because of reincarnation, sir.
Yes. Because Christ is the what? Second Adam. No, finish reading. I want to
come.
Away.
The first Adam was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
The last Adam was made a what? Tell him where you at.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 45.
Right.
And so it is written, the first man Adam was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
What does that mean? Come on.
Salakia, sir. If I'm correct, it was he was made to die.
Come on, Yanis,
he gives life, or he
How?
gives the way to life.
How?
By his example and his teachings.
Right. That's what I want. He taught us how to what? Live. You understand? Right? Adam was given the commandments. Right? He was given it. He was given life. But Christ was made a what? A quickening what? Spirit. The last Adam. Come on.
So Christians believe that Christ is like God and just decided to make himself into a person for whatever reason. I don't know what they think, but they think something to that effect.
Okay, we will have to go over the what they call the Trinity.
Right.
Where they say Christ is God and the Holy Spirit, and all three of them is one.
Come.
Right.
But I'm saying in the truth, what is the relationship between Christ going from, I guess you would call him an angel, to becoming Adam? Like what? Why did that happen? And the rest of us, were we also somehow there before the first version of, like, whoever I was, the first person I was my spirit, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like Christ? No,
maybe not like Christ, but in the same realm or something.
I see what you're asking, right? Okay. Just think about it this way, right? There's reincarnation. Reincarnation is real. How many times he was back here, you don't know. Right? But you know that N.W.O took the chance right now to follow Christ. You understand? And if N.W.O endures to the end, you understand? If N.W.O endures to the end, it means that what? That he was what? He was one of us from the beginning. You understand? You understand what I'm saying, right? Now with Christ, remember, who was the earth made for? Come on.
The Israelites.
Israelite. Give me a little more. So remember, it says that what? The kingdom shall what? Not depart. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. So who gonna be the king over Israel?
Christ, sir.
Christ, because he came and did what? He came and showed us how to do it. He came and what? Put his life on the line for his brothers. You understand? Remember, he did not have to. Go to Matthew 4. All right, go to Matthew 4. Right. And this Matthew 4 is showing you that he was just a what? A man. Like any one of us. You understand?
Okay.
But here's an example of him showing us how to be and what it will take to you know what I mean, to be in the kingdom of heaven. You understand? So I think in Matthew 4, start of verse 1.
Come on. The book of Matthew, chapter 4, and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. Verse 2. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered.
Right. He was afterwards what?
And hungered.
So he was fasting. You understand? Fasting to do what? To strengthen his spirit, because what he about to do, brother, it's was never heard of until he did it. You understand?
Okay.
Like you went on a cross, you went and get crucified for brothers and sisters, some brothers and sisters, he didn't even know. You understand? He went and did it. You understand?
Okay.
You committing adultery, you in the act committing adultery, and Christ tell you what? Go and sin no more. You understand? He gave you what? Life. He showed you how to live. You understand?
Okay.
All right? Read on.
Okay. Verse 3. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread.
What is Satan doing here right now? This is an angel from the Lord. Come on. He tempting him. You understand? He tempting Christ to do what? Come on.
To abuse his power.
You're on it. Come on.
It's like I said, to prove himself or to prove his power.
Remember, right? Think yourself. Think yourself in a situation where you getting tempted. What has he been doing? In other words, what is another word right now? He's being what? Tested. He's testing Christ. He's actually, remember, who works Satan with Christian mentality? They're thinking what? That Satan is what?
An adversary to the Lord.
Right. Satan has his own kingdom, his own realm, which is underneath the earth. But we know that Satan working for who? So he's saying what? This your son here, right? I'm gonna go tempt him. I'm gonna go prove that what? He's actually Christ. Let's see. Right? Read on.
Come. Verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High.
Right. Give me skip to verse 6.
Come, verse 6. And saith unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
You understand? What is this? What is Satan saying here to him? Come on.
To jump
To
off a
commit what?
cliff.
Commit suicide.
Come.
And he is saying, and he's telling Christ, yo, if you jump, the Most High is going to do what? He's going to save you. He's going to save you. He's going to send the angels so that, you know what I mean, you don't get harmed.
Right.
You understand?
Come.
This is just showing you, yeah, Tawada. This is just showing you what? Does it have one at room temperature? Yeah, I'll take one Tawada. Yeah, give me that one. Yeah, I'll take that. Tawada. Right? And Tabutu, give me John 14 and 12. I think this.
Go ahead, sir.
Mhm.
Come on. It's the book of John, chapter 14, verse 12. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also.
Hold on. What is Christ saying?
Repeat it. Oh, come. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I
Right.
do.
And the believe it on me is not you saying I believe in God, right? I believe in Christ. I believe he came in the flesh, did whatever, you know, I mean, the recital the Christians give you. Belief in God is you actually going to camp. You actually in the truth. You're actually getting persecuted for being an Israelite. You understand? One West. You understand? Right? Read on.
Come. The works that I do shall he the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these.
Hold on. What is he saying there? That one.
It's like it. Can we read it again?
Read one more time.
Come. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also.
Read on.
Come, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto.
Hold on. It's like you can't read over that.
Okay.
What is Christ saying? Come on.
Saying basically, if they really believe in me, they're gonna do the exact same things that I do.
Missing a big part right there, brother. Read the last part after that comma.
Because I go no. Oh, the one before, sir. Okay. And greater works than these.
Hold on. What is he saying?
Greater works.
What does Christ mean by greater works? Come on.
So, like you sir, he's saying that who believes in me is going to do the work plus some. He's going to do things that that I didn't do when I was here.
Greater. This thing's greater. Christ did what? Wake people from the dead. Christ did what? Heal people. He's telling you, you believe in him? You're going to do what? Greater works than he did. Come on.
So, brother had a comment answer online.
Come on.
Officer Baez said, like the mission to Acuna.
Yeah. You understand? Yeah. Come on.
So essentially, be able to do miracles.
Greater. This thing greater works. Just think, okay, because of the Christian church, it's almost to the point whereas you can't see us doing work that Christ did and greater. But in here you're going to learn and you're going to see that it's going to come to there. You understand? Because on earth today is the same Bible reading, same law, same everything. You understand? But guess what? Black people read it and they don't even want to see it. You understand? There were drugs back then. You know what I mean? I know how strong it was. But brothers coming into the truth, who was what? Hooked on cocaine. You know what I mean? Hooked on, you know what I mean, marijuana, you know what I mean? Drug addicts coming in here and becoming mighty men.
That's right.
You understand?
Damn right.
Like miracles. He's telling you you're going to do greater works, which lets you know what? That you ain't no different than what? Than Christ. You understand? You're no different than him. Only difference is he what? He went and did what?
He went and died for everyone.
And showed us how to live.
Come.
He was like the living example of who we had to be. You understand? So now him being in the beginning really ain't have nothing to do with him in the end, if you understand what I'm saying. He still had to do what? What he had to do?
He had to give his life.
No, just think this. What does a poor man and a rich man have to do?
They have to die.
They have to be tempted with the soul.
No.
Tempted, it's like-
What does a poor and a rich man have to do to inherit the kingdom of heaven?
So like yes, sir, they have to follow the laws. They have to change.
Yeah, you have to. Poor and what? Rich man. You understand? Have to do what? Follow the laws, statutes, and commandments. Christ ain't no different. You understand? That's why the Bible speaks of what? Respect to persons. You understand? We don't do that in here. The Most High is not like that. If you ain't doing the laws, statutes, and commandments, guess what? He gonna kill you. You understand? He gonna split your kingdom. And then you're gonna have to come back hundreds of years after and recognize what you did was wrong.
Don't come.
And you had to do what now? Change it and walk that path. You understand? So it's no different than like when you read Genesis 1:1, right? What is Genesis 1:1 about?
like creation.
Creation of what?
The earth, sir.
The earth. But is there other worlds out there? We don't know, but the book is about what? The creation of what? Of the earth.
Right.
You understand what I'm
Come,
saying?
come.
With Christ, you know that what? He was back there, right? And then he came in the flesh. That's why they say he came in the flesh as one of us to do what? To go through the same thing like us. You understand? He wasn't made by what? Like angels were made. He was made through Joseph and Mary having what? Sex. You understand? And if he was reincarnated, so which means what? He had no what? Remembrance of his former life. You understand? What he had to do was what? Open the Bible and start to put things what? Together. And recognize, oh hell, oh, I'm the man. Guess how you know he was the man? How you know he was the man?
So like sir, by following his lineage in this.
That's it. How you know he's the Christ?
So like he's the son of
By following
following the lineage. Sir.
by following the lineage. That's how you know he was Christ. That's how he knew he was what? Christ. You have to follow what? The lineage. You understand? Right? That's how he knew. He knew that he was supposed to be the what? He was supposed to be the what? The king of Israel. He knew that. Right? Now, to say that he had an upper hand on us, you can't say that based on how he lived. You understand? He lived just like me and you. You understand? Yeah. He lived like me and what? Just like me and you. That's how he lived. You understand? By following what? Laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? You good with that? Or you're still
Well, I mean, that makes sense. I get it. My only question, I guess, would be, I guess, like the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, like if Christ was in the employ of the Most High over the creation of the universe, cool. But were all of us even if we weren't like angels over, over that, were we beings,
talking about spirits
before we ever were flesh on earth?
I'm about to get back to you on that.
But
But you know what I mean? You do know when you die, your spirit goes back to the Most High, and then it does what? Comes back right here. So if you ask him if he made your spirit first, more like he did make your spirit first for your team come into a body. You understand what I'm saying? Your body changes, the spirit what? The same. Give me subject. The spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophetess. Hold on, I'm gonna get it for you. I'm misquoting it bad. Go ahead, Kobol. Go ahead.
So when Christ, when he started reading these scriptures, he realized who he was. And that's because the spirit, is it because like the spirit came back to him, the spirit of the Lord came upon him? Like once he started reading these scriptures, he understood
he understand his role, what
right.
he had to do because of the prophecy. Because when Christ was on the earth, what he had to follow.
So like the law.
Yeah, but meaning what book he was reading out of? The Old Testament. So of course there are prophecies in the Old Testament of who Christ is. And he knew what he had to do based on the fact that Christ will what? They said Christ will come from what? The seed of what? From David. Right? The seed of David. And he recognized that. And then when he went to get what? Baptized by John, it was seen that he was the man that they were supposed to follow. Like the prophecy led all the way to him. And because of his father, because of who he was and how he would study this Bible, he knew who he was. You understand? I'm not telling you to go read the Bible and say what? Well, I'm John. Nah, Negro. I ain't telling you to do that. You know what I mean? No. Yeah. But ain't nobody want to be the poor man. Right? Ain't nobody gonna be like, yeah, I was this poor man right here. This was the blind man who was begging, who was right by the pool, and nobody would throw him in. That was me. And I could prove it. Negro, you'll be in an asylum by the evening. Come on.
So like I said, but just like this scriptures say, the spirit bears witness. That's how we know we are the children of God, because your spirit has to bear witness to this.
Okay, what does it mean that your spirit bear witness? And I think come on.
It means that the Most High has chosen you.
Okay, but it's almost to the point where think about it this way. It's the best way I could put it to you, right? An African walks through the door, comes through the door, right? But you don't know he's a Hamite. He passing for one of us, right? No, well, you know what I mean? I just say he passing for one of us, meaning he looks like one of us, everything, all works. But he sits down in the seat. And you start to go into Africans. You start to say these Africans are filthy, disgusting, we're going to kill him. Kill them. He gets up and walk out of the class, never see him again. Right? His spirit did what?
It bear witness that he was not the children of Israel.
Yes. You understand? Right? Simple. You understand? You're going to be here in these seats. Read 1 Corinthians 14 and 32. All right.
Is it 32, sir?
Yes. 1 Corinthians 14 and 32.
I got it, bro. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, and verse 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
What does that mean?
The way like you just described, sir, the basically trying the spirit, or
Give me a little more. What is that saying right there? So the spirit of a prophet, right? So remember the same thing I was asking with where you come from, right? The spirit was with the Lord first, right? That spirit of a prophet is Yanisa, man, turn the mic around. To what? The spirit of the prophet is what? Subject unto a what? Prophet. Meaning what?
If you're reincarnated, if you were a prophet, you're reincarnated as a prophet with the same spirit.
Same spirit. So which means if you leave out of here, that means it was not a what? A prophet. Simple. Come on.
so essentially this is basically a reincarnation.
It's proof. Meaning you could come to that after you give them the whole reincarnation, breakdown. You could come to this just to make it concrete that the same spirit that you have, back then with Christ, if you was with Christ and roll with him to the end, is the same spirit you're going to have coming back now. You understand? But does that mean it's a surety? Prove it. Come on.
What we just read, it says that we have to put in the work. You have to put in the work in order to be successful.
Give me a precept. I said, the spirit of the prophet is subject unto a prophet, right? I mean, if you was a prophet in the past, you'll be a prophet today with that same spirit, right? But is that all the way? Want to say like with your question you had with Christ being back then? Well, he must have advantage over us, over the other brothers and sisters. Then if you were a prophet back then what you're saying is you have advantage over what? Brothers and sisters today, right? Is that the case? No. You understand? But you have that spirit. Can you lose that spirit? Yes, you could. It's called dropping your what? Your sword. You could. That's why it says what? Give me where it says, he that endureth to the end, that same shall be saved. I never quoting it correct. Bad with the come on.
Another precept might be Jude 1:6.
Jude, what does it say?
The angels which kept not their first estate.
Angels with the angels. I'm gonna have to come back to you on that one.
Come.
But I know the angels is talking about, I believe it's us when it say kept. Come on, but I have to get at the whole material. I'll get at there.
If I may, could
Jude what?
Jude 1:6.
Come on.
Could we use 1 John 5:4?
What does that say?
It says, for whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world.
Okay, that's for everybody. I'm talking about the spirit, because that's what Tabo 1 is actually saying. That spirit that Christ had from all the way back then in the beginning. If he had that, if he knew all of that, then he have what? An advantage over us, when that was not the case. You understand? Because he came just like us in the flesh, and that's what Christian use as, as what you call it again, as a way to do what? To sin. You know what I mean? They use that to say what? Well, Christ, he came as an angel because what? He came from the Most High. The Most High put a seed in Mary's belly, and Christ, that's how Christ came about. So he has advantage over us when that is not the case. He did what? He went through temptation just like us, but he was willing to do what? To fast. He was willing to go, put his body through, the full sacrifice to become who he is, which was the Son of God. You understand? And he's showing you that you could do it. You understand? But Satan is the one in the ears. Don't worry about all that, man.
Right.
I mean, you can't be like him. I mean, he think he's special or whatever. Come on, man. Let's roll this blunt up. Me and you, we gonna smoke this together.
Right.
You know what I mean? And before you know it, you yeah, we're gonna wait on King David. This Christ ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? Ooh, watch that. Watch that European or that oppressor. You know what I mean? Looks good. Why? Because you're high, Negro.
Right.
Anything look good when you're high, right? Come on.
Officer Baha said Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13.
What does that say? Yeah. And who is saying it? Matthew 10 and 22. Go ahead.
You want to go to 10 and 22?
Mm-hmm. 24 and what?
13.
Okay, go ahead.
Count on one concept. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
The same shall be saved. It's the same thing that's written in what? Matthew 10 and what? 22. So he's telling you, you have to endure what? Until the what? End. And Christ did endure until the end.
Come.
I mean, brothers who come in here and die before Christ, they did what? They endured until the end. You understand? Right? Come on.
I got another precept, Mark 13 and 13.
What does that say?
It says, this is the book of Mark chapter 13 and verse 13. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Right? So it's the same thing he's basically telling you. You understand? Like you can't, this is not a, a marathon, no, I shouldn't say a marathon, but it ain't like a sprint. This is a marathon. You understand? This is a long race. This is you fighting yourself, fighting your flesh. 99% of the time you're fighting your flesh. Flesh is telling you, you know what? You brothers in Hebrew Academy, you all understand this very good. You understand? That fight to wake up, to just to come, just to be present. That fight, brother, that's the fight of ages right there. You fight that fight, you could fight weed. You know what I mean? You could fight hoes. You understand? You could fight. You understand? You can fight it. And he's telling you have to endure unto the end. Don't think because the spirits subjects unto the prophet, oh, well, I'm here, I'm good to go. And you sit back, and you like, well, I don't need it. Negro, he ain't made it. Because the same spirit that the Lord gave you, the same spirit he's going to take back if you're not doing what? Yeah, he ain't doing the work. Or you could be in the truth, but just not in one West. Negro, no, that's not how it works. Right. You understand? If you wasn't done with Christ, you wasn't a prophet. You wasn't one. That's why Christ said what? Leave them alone. Let them alone. You understand? He does not what? He is not with me. Is not I'm messing it up. He is that is not how no. I'm messing it up. No, you gotta pull it from me. I'm messing it all the way up. I want to mess it up because these Christians online gonna be like, you see, he ain't know what he's talking about. Negro, I know what I'm talking about.
That's right.
My mind just had so much things running through it. Come on. Just give me where he says, you know what I mean? If you're not with me or against me, just give me one. Just give me one.
I got one in
Come on.
This is Matthew.
And this is the last one, right? And then I'm gonna pass the class over to priest and officer, Yanaza, right?
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 30.
Uh-huh.
He that is not with me is
Mhm.
against me,
Uh-huh.
and he
that is not with me, he that is not one west, is what?
is against
Is
me.
against me. Read on.
And he that gathereth not with me scattered abroad.
Right.
Scattereth abroad.
Scattered abroad. You understand? Like you gotta endure to the end, brother. You
That's
gotta
right.
come in here and endure to the end.
Yeah, right.
Or else you're gonna find your tail out there thinking you're doing the truth. When you're not, you're scattering abroad.
That's right.
You understand? You ain't doing the work. You understand? And in here, it don't go by what you did already. It go by what you're doing right now.
That's right.
You understand? What you're doing right now is you in your drawers behind the computer on the. I'm an Israelite. Send. I mean, baby, pass me them hot biscuits. Yeah, cutting these Negroes here on online. Negro, come on, man. Yeah, I'm cutting them. Yeah, right, Negro. You ain't cutting nobody but yourself. You understand? Pour on some clothes, pour on some all black, and get to class. You understand? You Old Testament Negroes, put the blunt down, man. It's destroying your brain cells, man. You lose them brain cells, you ain't getting it back in her. It's gone. Put them things to use. You understand? And with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to priest and officer Yaniza.
Security announcements. We are the ISUPK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. We're not associated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation, which will be the feast of Hanukkah, which will be November 28th. Is that correct? Yeah, November 28th. Remind Akim and Aquatium to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, Amadim,
We just want to salute.
we want to salute that. Sister, you remain seated. When a visitor saw us, turn to face the teacher. When a visitor, we give one courtesy salute.